My soul is filled with excuses to quit. But my spirit says, don't you give in. Keep going. Squash those excuses. Welcome to my 520th day of my Half-A-Mil Ticket $500,000 challenge. Welcome. Good morning to all my Kminustwos, and for people who want to win with money, people who want to control their budget, people who want to tell their money what to do, and to gain financial wealth going forward, and of course, getting out of bad debt. Welcome to my 520th day of my $500,000 Half-A-Mil Ticket Challenge. Good to see you guys. Been a while since I've posted a video. Give you guys some updates on where I'm at and what I'm doing, and that's part of this whole thing, right? Is to keep you guys updated, give myself some, accountability, right? That's what it's all about, guys. Helping people out there that's looking for hope that they can do this. I was in that situation once years ago. So today I'm going to give you guys where I'm at right now. 4 healths out there, right? Physically, mentally, spiritually, and of course financially, right? Where I'm at in those realms, right? So I want you to understand that you may not have no hope right now, but it can change. It can change, right? One thing leads to another, right? And it can change. And all those 4 healths I just mentioned to you guys, right? But you got to be in cahoots with all 4 of those, right? To make this thing happen. You can't be out of whack on your financial health and expect to gain some spiritual health, some mental health, right? You can't be out of whack on your financial health and expect to have a nice, soothing life mentally, right? You can't be out of whack on your mental health and expect to go all out on your financial health, right? So they all have to work together. They all have to work together. You can't be out of whack on your friendship group, people around you in your environment, and expect to have some gains on your spiritual health and your financial health, right? So they all work together, man. Don't ever forget that. They all work together. Today, like I said, I'm going to talk to you guys about a number of things as I go along with on my full time, and as I parlay and transition to my gig work. I got a lot of things going on in my life. So I just got back from Seattle a few months ago. I went and saw my granddaughter, my first grandbaby in the Seattle area. And I felt great about that. I had to plan for it, and me and my girlfriend went up there to see them, my son and his girl and their daughter, my grandbaby. It was a great experience, man, and it really added a lot of perspective to what I'm doing right now, what I talk to you guys about during my videos, and what I talk to you guys about during these updated videos, right? Because what's another reason why I do these updated videos, right? What's another reason why I've started my YouTube channel anyway, talking about my financial journey? It's for the kids in this family that are born in the near present and be born in the future. This is for my family downline, right? This is one of my whys why I started this process, guys, is to get you updated, because there's gonna be one day I'm not here, but this video represents as a living document that's going to survive me, that's going to live into the future, where my future family will see this, right? My family downline will see this. Yeah, man, it's a great experience, and like I said, I planned for it. She's now over 6 months old now, and I put money away I could have went in January, but I wanted to make sure that I stick to my guns stick to my vacation fund, stick to my travel fund, and it worked out, right? Like again, I planned, 4 or 5 months in advance for it. And it was a great experience, and just to see that progression of, hey, if you plan for it, it's something you want to do, you can't just go all willy-nilly about it, right? That teaches you guys a lesson as well, that hey, you may want to do something, your feelings may call for you to want to do that right now, but logically use your logic mindset thinking. Take a step back and go, you know what? Yeah, it's something I want to do right now, but I really gotta stick to my guns and plan for it, and that's what I did. But it was a good experience to see my son and his progression, and then my granddaughter as well. So it was good to talk to. One thing I was going to talk to my son about that he surprised me with, that I was going to talk to him and his girl about finances, and I did. I want to give them my wisdom, my knowledge on finances, and some things it takes to win with money. But surprisingly, I got up there and they were already on that path, so to speak, right? They're young. There's going to be some things they need to learn, right? Just like you and me when we were younger. But I was surprised that my son is already into investing. He needs to tweak his mindset a little bit on paying off some debt, but he was already into, the stock market, right? I'm like, whoa. And of course, I was very happy to know that, guys, I was so happy to know that my young son was listening to some of my videos already. So he was gaining some of that knowledge, right? Gaining some of that perspective, gaining some of that mental perspective, that mindset, right, on money, right? He was already into, S&P 500. I don't think he knows exactly what it was, but he was already into those S&P 500 companies already, right? He had already had some investments going on in his little investment app. I was like, whoa, god damn. Can't believe that, right? That's what's up. I like that, right? So I was pleasantly surprised, but and happy as well that he was already on that path. So talked to him a little bit, having tweak his game plan a little bit, but we can work from there. So it really gave me a lot of empowerment, right? To know that what I'm doing is working. Inch by inch, guys, in the family. There's some family members, guys, that's never going to get it, right? Just like people in your family, right? We have to realize that some people in your family, my family, and the broader community in general, that's never going to get it, right? That's okay. We have to understand that. That's never going to get it. When I was in school as a teacher, working with at-risk youth, right? I knew that when I walk in that classroom, I was not going to, most likely, you got to keep things in perspective and realistic. I was not going to, you know what I'm saying? I was not going to affect all 15, 16 kids, right? I was not going to have a dramatic effect on 15, 16 kids, right? I only had that perspective, hey, if I just win with one child, right? If I just win with one child, realistically, right? That I was doing a good job, right? I was doing my work, right? And so it's the same thing here. You're not going to reach everybody, man. I understand that, right? So, but getting back to it, so I want to be able to talk to you guys about another thing as I go on here today. I got a list of things I want to talk to you guys about. And the next thing is, look, I have a goal of June 1st of 2026, cutting back on my gig work. And this has been a point of contention with me the last month and a half, how I'm going to do it. And I've set that goal because I want to take off an extra day on my gig work, okay? I want to take off Sundays, okay? As you guys know, as you follow me, you know that I used to work 7 days a week. Okay, I work 7 days a week, and you know, I want to be able to. Now I'm taking off Saturdays to spend time with my girlfriend, and my goal was June 1st of 26 here to take off Sunday, right? So that would leave me, if I take off Sunday, that would leave me, you know, Monday through Friday working on my full-time and then my gig work, all right? So I'm gonna go in here and grab me some ice for the road and get myself some knickknacks, and I'm gonna talk to you guys further about that. I gotta talk to you guys about that because this is a point of contention with me. I gotta talk to you guys about that and work it out in my mind what I'm gonna do. All right. Talk to you guys later. Got my orange juice, got my little knickknacks for the road. Gotta have my morning orange juice to power me for the morning time. But getting back to it, I have worked and worked for this moment to be able to enjoy the fruit of my labor, right? And I've worked to get myself, you guys, you know, you've been following me along, you know that I've worked my butt off, you know, since 2013 to get out of debt and to strive to learn as much as I can about financial literacy and to tell my money what to do, learn about myself as relation to money, to build financial wealth, and getting out of debt. Since getting out of debt in 2017, you know, I've had further revelations, you know, of, you know, my money game, right? As it relates to me and my mentality. I had to learn financial mentality, guys. More of a financial mentality head game, right? That's what it's all about, a mental game, right? You really have to engage your, we talked about mental health earlier. You really have to gain your, you know, get involved with your mentals to get through this process, right? You have to strengthen up your mental game, right? And through your discipline, right? And I went through all that, man, to get to this point because one of my big whys was to live a better life, a good life, better life, right? A greater life, right? And be able to, as I tell my money what to do going forward in the future, you know, be able to have my money work for me, right? To have my money go out and get other money, right? To have my money go out and attract other money to live a better life, right? For myself. Have my money work just as hard as I do, and then eventually in the future, have my money work harder than I do, right? I'm at that point of realization right now, guys, where I see as the stock market is rolling right now, you know, I put a lot of faith into it, you know, and that's not something I would advise anybody to do, to put a lot of faith into the stock market because it's not guaranteed. You know, past results don't equal future results and all that good stuff, right? But as the stock market rolls along right now, I see myself gaining a lot of my net worth. I know, talking to you guys right now, my net worth is higher than it's ever been, and I feel good about that. But I wanted to put myself in this position to be able to, you know, take off more days of my job or my gig work, right? So I used to work 7 days a week, grinding 7 days a week, man, all my full time and my gig work, all out. I remember years ago I was working, you know, it wasn't anything, guys, for me to work 100 hours a week. That was nothing, right? I would do that to snap my finger, right? There's some weeks, man, years ago, there were some weeks I was grinding up to 100, 120 hours a week, man. And that's real talk. Why'd I do that? Because I wanted to get to this point where I'm talking to you guys about right now, right? As I sit here and talk to you guys right now, last year in 25, I contemplated a goal of June 1st, 2026, taking off an extra day, another day. So I met my girlfriend in 23. As our relationship evolved, I wanted to take off Saturday to spend more time with her. I did that. So right now I'm doing 5 days a week, Monday through Friday on my full time. I'm doing 5 days a week, Monday through Friday on my gig work as well. I'm also working my gig work on, Sundays. Not all day on Sundays. Maybe between 4, 5, 6, 7 hours on Sunday. Okay. My goal as June 1st of 2026 is to take off another day. That'll be Sunday. Why I'm talking to you guys about that? Why you guys look at me right now and saying, K-2, you sure about that right now, man? I'm having some thoughts about that. I've talked to my girl about that. She wants me to, of course, take off an extra day. She don't try to push it on me. She would like that, but she know my goals. She don't, she may want that, but she don't want to push it on me, right? We've talked about that before, all right? And I want that for myself as well, guys, all right? Don't get me wrong. I want that as well. But I know my goal for this year is to gain $35,000 on my net worth. I know my goal, right, in 2,774 days, right? And I'm 520 days into it now, and my challenge is to get a 500K half-mil ticket, right? Going forward into the future, right? Into retirement. That weighs on me, right? But I also have to enjoy the journey. I talked to you guys about it when I was in Galveston with my girl. We was having a good time down there and celebrating. I talked to you guys about it then during that video. I've talked to you guys about it going forward in other videos as well, that I have to put a smile on my face. And some of you guys know that K-2 is really not like that. I'm trying to learn to be like that, to enjoy this journey, to enjoy myself, to put a smile on my face and enjoy what I've done. Enjoy the fruit of my labor more. And enjoy this process. You guys, some of you guys know, you guys see K-2, he's hard into it. He's got his lid down and he's going all at it, right? That kind of mentality, right? That's the kind of mentality I have, right? But there's some consternation going back and forth here because I don't want to ruin the moment, man. I don't want to ruin the momentum. The stock market is rolling right now. My Fidelity account is rolling right now. And I'm going to show you guys this. By the way, I got a update half a year video coming up down the road. I'm going to show you guys my accounts. Not to brag and be braggadocious or boast and brag and all that kind of stuff. But again, going back to what I talked about before, is to show people that need hope out there. Show my information, show my videos, show my accounts, and show the money so I can give hope out there to people who need it, right? That's what this is all about. But yeah, man, I just don't know if I can do it, guys. What do you guys think? Drop it down in the comments below or give me what you guys think as I talk to you guys about this, as I go back and forth with this goal of June 1st, 26 here, taking off and more time on my gig work. I don't want to, I feel like I'm going to ruin this moment. The stock market is rolling right now. My net worth is going up and up and up. I'm enjoying that. Talking about enjoying the journey. That puts a smile on my face. When I check my accounts, that puts a smile on my face. When I check my Fidelity account, I see it shooting up. Guys, I've gained so much money here in the last 6 months. It's great to see, right? Because right now, guys, I'm just working my gig work. You guys if you haven't seen my last video, go check it out. Maybe I'll leave a link down below on my last video, how I talk about how I'm just pouring, man. I'm just pouring on the fire. I'm just pouring that gas on the fire, right? Right? And it's just, the more I pour, the more it shoots out to my various accounts and to my investment accounts, man. And it's just great to see. It's great to see my accounts go up and up and up. For a guy that used to be $40,000 in debt, now debt free. Now I have the power to tell my money what to do. Now I am the master, right, guys? It's so empowering to say that. Now I am the master. I tell my money what to do. And you know what, man? I see it. I see the power of that now. And why I have consternation about going back and forth on the June 1st date? Oh, I don't want to jinx myself, right? But by the same token, I got to enjoy this. I have to enjoy I'm pushing past $150,000 on my net worth, going toward my goal, right? What is my goal? 165 at the end of this year? Or something to that effect? I have to go back and look. I think I started out the year, 131? And so if I want to get to my $35,000 net worth gain, that means I have to get to what? 165, 166? You know? And so I want to push that. I didn't get my goal last year. I want to push that to get that. But man, one of the things I set aside this year, one of the goals I set aside this year, I wrote down this year for myself, was to, put the smile on my face and enjoy this journey that I'm on. So that's where I'm at right now, guys. I'm going back and forth with it, and I don't want to disappoint myself with that goal of not enjoying it either. I want to be able to enjoy extra time off my life, enjoy my life, have some relaxation, enjoy my girlfriend, and be able to spend more time with her, right? And the family, okay? So that's where I'm at, man. That's where I'm at. I have to come to a resolution. What do you guys think? I want to hear your honest opinion on my back and forth with what I just described to you guys, what I just talked to you guys about my June 1st goal this year. Man, I want to get you guys' honest opinion on that, okay? All right? What do you guys think? Because there's going to be some times where you guys have to make a decision tough decisions on some of your goals, right? Right? You may be at that point where you right there at it, or you're visualizing at the end of the year that you're going to be just at your goal, and one little tweak here can either help you or hurt you. That's kind of where I'm feeling right now. That's where I'm at. So tell me what you guys think. Where are you guys on this? All right. I would like to hear that. So the next thing, what's been going on in my life the last 6 to 8 months, man, is my car. My car, you guys know, been following me for a while. You know that in 2023, I bought a brand new Chevy Trailblazer for my gig work. You know, anybody knows my gig work. I have a gig business where I'm an independent contractor where I work gig apps like DoorDash, right? But I work other gig apps other than DoorDash, right? I do like an app called Spark, which covers deliveries for Walmart and Sam's Club. I do an app called GoPuff, which is a grocery store delivery app, right? And so in order to do those, I wanted a reliable, decent car, and I wanted to experience for the first time in my life a brand new car, you know, and I did that. I wanted to accomplish that, and I did that, right? Not that it meant nothing I'm, meant to show it off or anything like that. I just wanted to, it's something I wanted to do, and I did that, right? So I wanted my cars for my business, but recently, man, I've been getting my ass kicked with that new car, right? I've had some breakdowns on it. Oh, a little over 6 months ago, man. I think I talked about this in my last video, but my throttle body on my car broke down. Had to get that fixed. That was $600 and some right there, right? That was $600 and some. And matter of fact, I found out on my gig work, right? I got stranded on my gig work, right? So I had to wind up getting my deliveries done. The thing would run hot. It was running hot on me. I couldn't figure out why. At the end of that, I had to wind up getting my car towed to a shop the next day. That was $600 and some. And then just recently, I had to get it fixed again, right? Doing the same thing. It was running hot. Matter of fact, I was out north of Omaha in one of those small towns, right? And my car broke down there, right? And I was fully loaded, guys. I was fully loaded. Matter of fact, I was doing Spark. I was doing delivery for Walmart at the time. And man, I had to wind up shutting the car off, doing delivery, let it cool down. Shutting the car off, doing delivery, let it cool down. And I had 3 grocery deliveries to do, man. And man, so when I got done, I had to wind up calling my, over-the-road service, tow service to come get me. And one of the reasons why you guys got to have, roadside service, right? One of the big reasons, especially when you're doing gig work, right? Because you never know when that day is coming. Even when you got a new car, guys, like me, you never know when it's coming, right? So, man, that was a big hit because as far as my tow service, man, they had to charge me extra. Why? Because I was outside my zone. You're given when you have a roadside, when you sign up for roadside, you have to sign up for that, right? They only give you so many miles where they cover, right? And I was outside that zone, which means they charged me an extra $100. So not only did I have to pay extra for my toll, I had to pay for the car to get fixed, right? Got it to the shop, and you know what, man? It turns out the smallest damn things on these new cars cost the most money. I mentioned before how I had the little throttle body fixed to my car earlier. That small little thing. Well, this time it was a small little coolant piece. A coolant valve was broke. So I had to get that fixed, right? Small little thing. Cost me almost $2,000, right? And I talked to the car place and they gave me credit for the extra amount that I paid for my toll. They did give me credit for that. So I was happy about that. Because the next day, they fixed my car. The next day I went out on my gig work, right? In my car. That's when it broke down. So I called them and said, hey man, I thought you guys fixed my car. Well, guess what? I'm stranded right now in a little small town, right? You guys got to come, you got to figure out what you're going to do with my car. You got to give me some type of credit for it. So after I got my car towed back to his shop, they gave me credit for the extra $100. So that was cool. I liked that part, right? I was very appreciative of that, right? But yeah, man, so I've been getting my ass kicked on that, man, but why is that important? Why is that important? It goes back to the fact that something I've been talking to you guys about for a while, ever since I started these videos, right? And logically speaking, you have to rationalize that in your head, why this is important, what I'm going to talk to you guys about. You know, guys, I can only imagine when I have situations like what I just described to you guys on the repairs to my car and going through those situations where, those big money charges can be a shock to your system, right? I can only imagine now, I think back, I can only imagine, when I was when money told me what to do, when money controlled my life, back in the day in 2013, 14, 15, I can only imagine when I was attempting to get out of debt, when something like this happened, how that would, push me back, how that would hold me back, how that would really derail my getting out of debt journey, man. And how discouraging. I mean, I can only imagine, I think back when I was in the depths of paying off 40 grand, how when something like this happens, how that can really be a deterrent, how that can really discourage me from getting out of debt, to get my money game right. Imagine when I was getting out of debt and a big $2,000 car payment came my way, or even a $500 car payment came my way, how that would be detrimental to my empowerment, how that would be detrimental to my encouragement to get out of debt and to get my money game right, to get my financial literacy right, man. Think about that. And so that's why I have so much compassion for you guys out there who are looking for hope, looking for a better way, right? Looking for a better way to get your financial literacy right, to tell your money what to do. I have a lot of compassion for you guys out there because I've been there. I've been in your shoes, right? I think back now, man, wow. Where would I be? What kind of mindset would I have if to get hit with a charge like that, right? So, yeah, man, but it's important. Why I say this? Because it's important. It's important to, when you get your money right, we talk about emergency funds all the time. It's important. That emergency fund is very important. But more specifically, right, your sinking funds are very important, right? I have a car replacement sinking fund. And that came in handy, guys. You know, having your money organized comes in handy, right? It takes away from the, anxiety. It takes away from the, the stress level you may have within yourself when you get charged, when you get hit with a big bill like that, or you get hit with having a depressing day like that, right? That's going to derail your journey. You take one step ahead, oh, here it goes. 2 steps back. You're doing that dance, right? Well, having your money organized can rectify that. Having your money organized can help you along with that. Having your money organized can get you to a point where it's more of a mere inconvenience versus a stressful, anxiety-filled event for you. And that's what I felt, guys. I want you guys to understand. Again, listen to what I'm saying to you guys. Listen to the words I'm saying to you, okay? This is not a braggadocious talk. This is not a look at me talk. This is not a look at me, I'm better than you talk. This is a real talk from me, my heart, to you. Telling you what I felt going through those things. Because, yes, it was an inconvenience. I felt maybe a tad anxiety about it, a little tad stress about it, right? But it was nowhere near the monumental amount of anxiety I was going to have. It was nowhere near the amount of stress I would have had if I was in the depths of getting out of debt, trying to tell my money what to do, trying to tell my money what to do, right? Going through all the pitfalls, ups and downs of the getting out of debt process, of getting my money right process. It was nowhere near that it was going to be nowhere near that, guys. It was just a mere inconvenience. Because why? All I had to do was tap. When I got to my landing spot, tap here, tap there, right? Check my accounts, okay. Transfer money to my main bank account and pay off the bill, right? Because I already had the money in my sinking fund, right? You don't like to see your account dwindle, but that's what it's there for. And we all have to remind ourselves, I'm not no different than anybody else. I have to remind myself, hey, that's why that account's there, right? When I go on vacation, guilt-free, that's why that account's there. When I have a breakdown on my car, for example, guilt-free, that's why that money's there in my account, right? If something happens to me physically, right, health-wise, that's why I have things in place, like my HSA, right? I have my health insurance, right? That's why those things are in place. So we always have to realize that. And I want to get you guys to understand that your life is going to be a whole lot better, anxiety-wise, stress-wise, and your feelings overall going forward when you have your money organized. And that's the big part of what this conversation is all about, right, guys? Right? So you guys get a chance to see my upcoming video or videos down in the future here. I got my updated half a year video coming up about where I am on my Half-A-Mil Ticket $500,000 challenge. I always give a mid-year video on where am I at in my goal planning going forward. You guys will see my various accounts. If you haven't seen my videos yet, if you're new to the channel, haven't seen my videos yet, you get a chance to see that. And so it's very important to, when you get your money right, when you get out of debt finally, start the process then of organizing your money, right? It starts with your emergency fund, building that up to the point where you're comfortable, you're feeling good about it, right? Either it's 3 months if you're married, you guys might have stable jobs, right? You may be able to get away with, a 3-month emergency fund, right? If you're single, by yourself, you have a decent job where it's a stable job, where you see long-term prospects in that job, right? You don't see any type of waves happen in that job where you can get laid off. Now, nothing's guaranteed, of course, but you see a good future at that job. You see yourself working there, a stable job, right? And you may be able to go get away with a 6-month emergency fund. You may be able to get away with a 9-month emergency fund, right? You have a sales job, for example, right? You may want to push it to 9 months, 12 months, right? That kind of thing, right? Or your job's more unstable, right? You may have a sales position where your job is sporadic, right? You may want to go with a 9 or 12 month emergency fund. Those kind of things, right? You start setting the pace right away, guys, when you get out of debt. Here comes the sinking funds, right? Because not everything is in the emergency fund. Not everything requires your emergency fund, to use your emergency fund, right? You get more specific with your financial literacy. You get more specific with your money. You start setting down, going to different accounts, setting up sinking funds, right? For example, my sinking funds are, we just talked about one, right? My car replacement sinking fund. I have a vacation travel sinking fund. I have a holiday sinking fund, right? Okay? So let's just give you guys some examples, okay? And so it's very important, man. It's very important to have these things, right? I have a sinking fund for my taxes, for example, because I have a business. I'm an independent contractor, right? I have a gig business, right? And so that's why it's important, man. And you may not like it, money coming out of your account, big hits of money, like I just described to you guys. But another major point why I'm having this discussion with you guys is guilt-free, right? Take the burden off your mindset. Take the burden off your soul, your spirit and body and soul. Understand that you can do it guilt-free. Why? Because that's why you got these accounts in the first place, right? Do it guilt-free because that's why the money's there, right? That's why the money's there, right? And going forward, you know that you feel good about your money. You're empowered with your money because you know you're not working off reactionary. You're working off due diligence, right? You're working off being proactive with your money. And that's what this is all about, guys. Being proactive with your money, right? Planning for things that's going to happen, right? Planning for things that's going to happen, but also planning for things that's, that's sporadic, right? Right? That could happen, okay? That's what this is all about, and that's what this discussion is all about. This part of the discussion is all about with you guys, okay? All right. So, guys, what I just talked to you guys about. So, guys, basically the moral of the story is, and I just got done with one of my stops here, but the moral of the story is what I just talked to you guys about is no matter what stage you are, and there's levels to this, no matter what level you're on and what stage you are in your financial life, guys, is that things is going to happen. No matter where you are in your life, it's not going to stop things from happening to you in your life. It's not going to stop life from happening. But by having your money right, having your money organized, right, in your game plan, it's going to help soothe that, right? It's going to help it smooth out the edges, right? Going forward, right? It's going to help your stress and anxiety levels going forward, right? It's going to take a crazy, astronomical, stressful situation and make it a mere inconvenience, right? Right? Going from here to here, right? And smoothing out your life, smoothing out and making your physical health better, right? Not everything's perfect. It's not always going to be that way. But generally speaking, talk about physical health, mental health, spiritual health, of course, financial health, right? They all work together, right? Having your financial health, right, can help you along the way in your mental health, your spiritual health, and of course your physical health, right? You may be suffering from physical ailments, right? High blood pressure and cholesterol issues, or you may have some borderline depression issues, some anxiety issues, right? Having your financial health right, guys, can help can maybe not eliminate everything, but it can really help you with all those other things I just mentioned, okay? And so that's what this is all about, man. As far as where I'm in right now, my physical health, man, you guys know that, been following me, I have a Planet Fitness gym membership, and man, I tell you, I'm doing better, man. That's been an ongoing issue with my work schedule. It's the reason why I'm cutting back on my gig work, where I can, focus on my physical health, focus on me, giving back to myself, is to work out more, get some more cardio, get my workout on. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting better at that. I've increased my gym membership visits. Still not where I want to be. I still have a hard time getting to the gym. Basically, because where my gym membership is and where I'm living at is a distance more of a distance than I want from my house, my apartment, and so that's been an issue. I still got to figure that out. Whether I stop that Planet Fitness membership and focus on somewhere else, or I just do a YMCA, which is down the street. I do that membership. I like having my Planet Fitness membership. It's a black membership, which means I go to anywhere. But I still got to get better at that. I'm working out of my house more. I have a little workout routine I got at my place, at my apartment. I do push-ups, sit-ups, squats. You know what I'm saying? I do running in place, calisthenics, a lot of stretching. So I do that. I got that little routine going on right now. I feel good about that. But I still have to, I talk to you guys all the time about taking it to another level. I got to take it to another level on that front. Now, as far as being diabetic and stuff like that, my food intake, I've gotten better at that. Cut back on some red meat. Definitely cut back on red meat. Got more veggies in my system. More salads, more fruits and veggies, right? So I'm doing more of that. Feel good about that. So that's going better. Not where I want to be, but it's better, okay? I always have to be cognizant of what I tell you guys, right? I have to be held accountable too. I talk to you guys about physical health, mental health, spiritual health, and of course financial health. They all work together. We talked about it before. I always talk to you guys about it. I talked to you guys about it earlier in this video. I had to be aware of that as well. I had to hold myself accountable. And that's what this is all about, right? Lately, I've had some health issues where I've gone to see a specialist on a couple situations, couple issues. And matter of fact, I'm looking for a big specialty bill too on my health insurance. We'll see about that. We'll see if it's covered. So I've had to cut back on my gig work, cut back on my full time to go in to do that. So, but everything right now is on the up and up, man. It's on the up and up. So we'll take it from there. All right, guys. So continue on my day. Just got done with another stop here. I have one of my long stops today, but even though I have one of my long stops today, it still won't be a long day. It's going to be a pretty efficient, quicker day today, quicker route today.
You should reach your destination
So
by 10:07
I am getting it done, guys. It's sometimes it's good to kick back on a Friday, have a good time, short time, efficient time on my full time, and that transitions well sometimes on a Friday to my gig work. Now, I don't know how crazy my gig work's gonna be tonight, but we'll see how that goes. So onward and upward, guys. If you guys can see, I wasn't lying to you. I got my fruit here. So I have my fruit throughout my full-time day. Eating better, feeling better, and for me, it just gotta be consistent. As far as my food game goes, guys, you guys know, you see my last videos, that's been my Achilles heel. I just gotta be consistent on my food budget and that kind of thing. You know, it's very difficult when you're on the road like I am, you know, for 14, 15, 16, 18 hours of the day and night. So that's the challenge I face, but we're gonna face it. We're gonna face it man on and conquer it one-on-one, you know. So there we go. I'm not doing HelloFresh at the moment. I stopped HelloFresh for a couple months. I'm gonna get that back going again. So they are offering me a pretty decent deal to get going again. So I think I'm gonna take it. Maybe this weekend I'll sit back and analyze it. That may be the weekend that I go ahead and recertify myself for HelloFresh.
Now, not tomorrow, not next week, not a year from now, right now. And if you ain't jumping all over this thing, you got to seriously ask yourself, why? You got to seriously ask yourself, why am I sitting back and watching the greatest wealth transfer in American history take place and I'm not participating?
You know what, guys? I have to agree. That's one of the guys I listen to on YouTube as I'm out on the road doing my thing. He always gives me his perspective. And I have to agree with what he just said. For you young people out there, for you people out there that looking for hope in your financial game, in your financial literacy game, for people who are 50 and older, looking to start your financial literacy game, right? Looking for a word. Well, take this word. This is the greatest time in our human living lives to do that. Because depending on where you live at, that also is a big point in this. If you live in a decent area as far as cost of living goes, and you have some marketing skills where you can go out and get a decent job. I'm talking about normal people, man. Normal people, right? With a normal job, right? I'm not talking all this fancy millionaire, billionaire, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, you know, Jeff Bezos types, right? I'm talking about basic, normal people that got normal living skills, normal living, you know, requirements, right? Normal people that can go from paycheck to paycheck, improve the situation, right? Learn some financial literacy, gain a foothold on your finances, and build from there, right? Get out of debt, bad debt, and build from there, right? That's what I'm talking about. You ain't got to make a lot of money, what I'm talking about. You have a normal job, you can do this, what I'm talking about. You can make some waves in your financial life, right? You can make this happen. And quiet as kept, you what? You can build wealth. You can build financial wealth, guys. This is the greatest time to do that. If you got some skills, you live in a decent area where you got a good level of cost of living, right? And you're putting money into to your business or to real estate or into the stock market. This is the greatest time ever. Let's talk about the stock market. if you're putting money into investments, right? If you're putting money into the S&P 500, you know, the top 500 companies in the stock market, right? Then, man, this is the greatest time ever because, boy, the stock market is rolling right now. It's been rolling for a while, right? Sure, past results don't equal future results. And I'm not your financial advisor, guys. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm telling you my experience, my life. And so don't let this serve as me trying to tell you what to do or give you advice. This is not advice. It's just tell you what's been happening, right? I'm telling you about history. The stock market has generated in between 7 and 10% every year since its inception. And right now, and as we speak, here in getting close to mid-year 26, right? It's rolling. The stock market's rolling. And what a time to live when AI and information technology, right? Technology is taking over, right? And tech companies are taking over, right? Look at the stock market, for example. It's rolling right now, majority because the tech market is rolling right now. Companies like NVIDIA, all those semiconductor businesses right now, they're all rolling right now, right? I've jumped on board, guys. I've jumped on board. And my stock accounts are shooting up, rolling right now, which I'm happy about. So all those people out there I just mentioned, please invest in yourself. Learn, right? And you can earn as you learn. Then focus on returns. The returns I just told you guys about, please, I'm telling you, I'm reaching out to all you guys. You guys can always reach out to me. You guys can always reach out to me. I leave my personal email down below in the box. You can call or email me, ask questions, right? That's what I wish I had when I was in your shoes right now, right? But yeah, man, boy, don't miss out on this, man. People are making some serious money right now, guys. Seriously. Please get involved. Earn as you learn, right? Then focus on return, right? And this is for all of you guys, man. This is for all of you guys. Let's get over the hurdle. Let's get over the hump. And what is that hurdle and hump? Most likely it's fear, right? The stock market scares me. Real estate scares me, right? I've had that business idea for how many years now? Guys, don't let the years bog you down. The years of consternation, the years of back and forth, the years of being hesitant, right? Overthinking it, right? Studying. Ain't nothing wrong with studying and reading. There comes a time to study and read. There comes a time for knowledge. That's what this biggest thing's about. What does K and K-2 represents? Knowledge. Knowledge about money, how money works, how to tell money what to do, but knowledge how you relate to your money. Knowledge about you as well. I had to learn that. But as that season goes by, another season comes. What's that come? What's that another season? What comes next? Action. Put what you know into action and go forward. Right? That leads to discipline. Right? That leads to a routine. That routine will take you over the hump, over that bridge, and down below is your hurdle. That will take you over and create a bridge for you to get you over that hump, that hurdle of fear. Okay? Need any help? You're welcome to get a hold of me and ask me some questions. I love to guide people and to serve as your accountability partner to guide you to a better way, a better stage, a better level, right? We've come too far. But I tell you guys all the time, we've come too far. to forget who we are, to give up who we are. So let's take it to another level. Raise the bar. Only then can we honor the people who put us on this platform, that have died, passed on. Only then can we honor them. Only then. Right? Only then can we honor our ancestors. Right? That's what I tell you guys at the end of each video. Right? Let's make it happen. For me, man, you know, why did I start? One of the reasons why I started my financial health journey, I had, you guys out there that's been following me for a while, you know, I got many whys why I started this journey, why I started this YouTube channel, why I'm giving out my information, why I'm giving out hope to others out there. One of the whys was to put myself in a situation financially where I can give back. I can give back to the community. I can give back to help people, but also give back to my family, give back to my community, give back to people I love and care about. Is to be able to do special things, right? To be able to surprise people without no consequence, right? We talk about guilt-free. To be able to surprise people without going into debt. To be able to surprise people without having a credit card bill. To be able to surprise people, guys, without no guilt and shame whatsoever. Guilt-free money, right? We talked about my car, what happened to my car, right? A mere inconvenience, right? And that's how you want to give too, guys. That's how you want to give. Guilt-free. No problems, right? Giving to people without no problem, right? That's where I put myself at, guys. As my account soars now toward my next goal, right? As my account soars now toward goal after that, getting to 200 grand, 200K, I have put myself in a situation now where I can't get crazy, but I can give here and there sporadically like I want to. I can travel. Can't get crazy, but I can travel better than I did before, without no guilt, without no bill when I come home, without no debt collectors calling when I get home. So my next plan right now, I'm planning for my brother. My brother is getting ready to turn 60 years old. Shh, don't tell nobody, right? Me and my sister's helping me with that. We're sending out invites to people. So I'm planning for a surprise 60th birthday party for my brother, guys. And as I'm planning this, I'm calling people, getting estimates, getting this, getting that, getting these figures put in place, getting this put in place, planning this, planning that. I gotta tell you, comes to fruition. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Feeling damn good about it. It's gonna cost me a good penny, right? It's gonna cost me some pretty good change, right, guys? But I gotta tell you, so what? I don't care. You know why? Guys, I put myself in this situation, guys, where I can do that. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. So, still planning it right now. My sister's helping me, my girlfriend. She's gonna help me with a few things, but we're gonna put together. And this is what I want to convey to you guys, right? We talk about money. Money is just a means to an end, right? So we go out and grind and get our hustle on. You know what I'm saying? Us grinders out there go out and make our money. You know what I'm saying? We have to talk about actual figures. But what does those figures mean to you in your life? What does money mean to you in your life, right? It can't just go out and can't be out going out and get the money. It's got to be a purpose behind that. It's got to be a why behind that, right? That's not only going to push you to go get the money, it's going to keep you humble. It's going to keep you somewhat grounded. It's going to keep you focused on the reasons why, right? And this is one of the reasons why for me. You're going to have your own reasons why, guys, right? So it's important for me to have this poignant conversation with you guys on that front as well, right? To learn, to listen, and to get a perspective from my life, where I'm at. This is what kept me going. Where I'm at right now, guys. This is what kept me going through all those hard times. Working late at night, working during snowstorms, working during tornadoes and rainstorms, and being slid off the road, right? Losing sleep, right? Going off in the snowstorm into a ditch that one particular night, I remember very well. All those dark times, all those times by myself, all those times being alone, led to this, led to me being able to give like I want, right? And I still gotta remain focused. Still can't get crazy, but I still can give better than I did before. And me being able to plan this for my brother brings me a lot of joy. So I really hate when people jump on these YouTube or any kind of social media platforms and they say, money don't lead to happiness. I beg to differ, brother. I beg to differ, miss. I beg to differ, my man. Speak for yourself. Because the money I made and make have led to me being some happy. I'm very joyful what I'm able to do right now. So I beg to differ. Put that in perspective. Don't just make a blank statement saying money don't lead to happiness. You need to break that down. Be more specific. Because money can lead to happiness, right? If money leads to joy, and money leads to how I'm feeling right now, it's definitely going to lead to me being able to do things for other people. And that's going to lead to happiness, right? So don't just make a blank statement, clarify that statement, right? And that's what I'm going to get it conveyed to you guys right now, right? Money can lead to joy. Money can lead to life satisfaction the way you are right now, as long as your other healths are in line as well. Physical health, mental health, and spiritual health. They're in line along with your cahoots with your financial life, guys. It can lead to happiness. It is leading to happiness right now for me. Can't speak to you guys, but it's speaking for me right now in a very, very demonstrative way, right? So that's what I want to convey to you guys. And it's going to be so joyful to see the smile on my brother's face. My brother's, he's gone through some health issues recently, and I want to be able to give back and see the happiness on his face. And boy, oh boy, it's going to be fun. My brother is a Las Vegas Raiders football fan, but he goes back to the old Oakland Raiders National Football League football fan. So that's gonna be the theme of the party we're gonna have for him, and boy, it's gonna be joyous, man. It's gonna be joyous, and I'm gonna be happy to see. Now I get to be able to give back like I want to, and man, this where it gets fun, guys. This where it gets fun. This is what I want to convey to you guys, right? Help yourself so you can eventually, down the road, feel good about helping other people without debt collectors calling. All right, guys. So ending my Friday on my full time. Just gassed up, headed back to the office, headed back to the warehouse so I can close out my truck, close out my full time on this Friday, and head to my gig work. So again, I mentioned that I'm planning a surprise 60th birthday for my brother. There are some things I have to do today to finish some of those things on my to-do list for that out. Making a few calls and whatnot, research and whatnot on this Friday. So we got a few weeks left for that. We're gonna have it on the 4th of July, so we got some time to work with here. So I gotta do that, and then I gotta go to the mailbox, pick up some things to my P.O. box, and then go home for a bit, and then I'll jump to my gig work. But man, what I'm gonna tell you guys, the last thing I'm gonna tell you guys before I get to my gig work, man, is When I moved down here from Minneapolis to Omaha, and I think it was May of 2021, to take care of my mother. My mother had some health issues, so I came down here to look over her. Me and my mother actually lived together up until when she passed away in June of 23. But I say that to say this. I left a good job up in Minneapolis. Good job, good full-time route job for a good company. And then I came down here to take a shitty job. It was a logistic management job for a shitty company. If I'd known now what I should have known then, I would never did it. I would have moved down here to take care of my mother, of course, but to take that shitty ass job from Meyer Logistics, and I don't care about mentioning the name. One of the worst companies I ever worked in my life, Myers Logistics, or whatever the hell you call it, Meyer Logistics. I would have chose a different route as far as employment goes. But anyway, so when I came down here in 21, I had to pick a financial advisor to manage my accounts that I was transferring down here, right? When I left my full-time job from Minneapolis, I had a 401k, right? And I had a Roth 401k. Well, I wanted to transfer those to IRA accounts, which I did. But before that, I wanted to pick a good financial advisor, to follow me along and to partner with me in my financial evolution, right? And so, if you guys didn't know anything about Dave Ramsey and his company, Ramsey Solutions, they have a website where a lot of you guys probably don't know this, but if you follow Dave Ramsey and his program, his company, you know this, that he has a website. On his website, whether you're looking for a tax advisor in your community, or you're looking for a real estate advisor, real estate agent, you're looking for a financial advisor, on his website he has links you can punch in, and as you punch in, hit those links, you can enter your zip code wherever you are across the United States, and that particular link will send you, he'll send you back 4 or 5 advisors, whatever your particular field is, right, that you punch in, that you're looking for. Me, in my situation, I was looking for a financial advisor, so I went on Dave Ramsey's website and went to the financial advisor tab, punched on that, entered my zip code at the time, and that hit me back. That produced 4 or 5 financial advisors down in the area. And what I did was, back in the summer of 21, I hit 3 of those back, all right? I emailed them, called them, interviewed them, right? And eventually I chose a financial advisor down there. And I've had that financial advisor for, where we are now, 26, right? So I've had that financial advisor for 5 years. And during that time, we have got to know each other and got to know each other's families, and I got to know him and his background, and we talked initially about one of my goals are in my financial world, and what I'm looking for as I inch toward retirement. And during the initial conversation, he let me know what he's good at, what he likes to provide for me at being my financial advisor, and so forth and so on. We talked about, of course, fees and things of that nature. And that's one thing, guys, that as you go forward, you really have to be cognizant of there's nothing wrong with a financial advisor, but got to be very, very cognizant of their fees. And you generally want to stay south of a 1% asset under management, AUM, right? You want to really be cognizant of that and watch the fees, because those fees can add up every year. And just like how your investment compounds, well, guess what? The fees they charge you compound also, right? So a 1% may not sound like a lot, but as you compound 1% over 10, 15, 20 years or more, then that can really add up and be a detriment in your financial, life going forward. So really got to be aware of that. So we talked about those kind of things. Initially, I was all on board and I went for it, right? And like I said, we've had a great relationship. I meet with him. I talked to you guys earlier about my financial advisor, talking about my Fidelity account. They're at Fidelity, and I have that financial advisor I have manages my accounts. He manages my traditional IRA and my Roth IRA. And right now I'm just throwing everything at my Roth, maxing out my Roth. Me being 50 and older, I can contribute another $1,000, guys, to my Roth, which is now over $8,000 now. So my Roth is just kicking ass right now, gaining big time momentum, because right now I'm throwing a lot at it, over $8,000 a year now, and among my other investments as well. And I also have at Fidelity, now he manages those accounts. Now also at Fidelity, I have a brokerage account, right? I have a brokerage account that I manage myself. So you add all those up right now, and they're well over $100,000. And so I'm not going to touch that. I'm just going to let it roll, right? But the gist of my conversation, why I want to talk to you guys, is this. Yeah, everything was gung-ho at first. It was great. I really think I needed my guy at the time, because as I said before in other videos, I really didn't have anyone I can talk to a lot about my money, my finances, right? So he was a great, and he still is. He was a great and still is a great earpiece, right? I can bounce ideas, things off of, how I'm feeling about my money. I can bounce it off of him. And he helps me out with future projections going forward, where I'm going to be in, when I retire, for example, or 10 years down the road, when I take my Social Security at 62 or 64, whatever, right? So we project things out. So he's great on that front. We strategize. We huddle up and game plan, right? Just like you see in a football game, you see a huddle before play. That's what we do, right? So he's been great with that, guys, for 5 years. But coming out of my last appointment with him, he's increasing his rate now to 1.5% AUM, asset under management. And that's just a lot, man. I just thought about that. That's a lot. And you guys know what my goals are. My goals are, what is this update called, right? Half-A-Mil Ticket, $500,000 challenge, right? And so I need all the help I can get. I need all the money I can get going toward my challenge, man. My Half-A-Mil Ticket Challenge, my $500,000 challenge. And we're on day 520. Guys, I got a long way to go. This challenge is 2,774 days. But I still need all the help I can get. And I don't know if I can give a financial advisor, 1.25% under AUM. And so here's my thought process. My thought process is, look, I've kept him for 5 years. He's been great to huddle up with. He's been great to bounce ideas off of, and in some aspect be a accountability partner for me, right? I need all the teammates I can get coming where I come from, guys. I also hired a CPM, and I recently hired a CPA, for my taxes. That's been great. The CPA I've been working with this year for the first time has lowered my taxes, because I'm an independent contractor. I'm self-employed. So that was very powerful for me to hire a CPA. So I want these people on my team, right? And so, but as I think about my financial advisor, I'm thinking I can't have him. I'm going to fire him because I can't have that, man. I can't have that. Now I think if he was 0.6, 0.8, anything under 1, I might be able to stomach it, right? I might be able to stomach it, guys. But I need, like I say, 1.25% is just too much for me. And as I talked to him about that, I believe that he's not willing to, negotiate that, and that's fine. So my thought process is this. I've kept him around for 5 years. It's been great. He's been managing my accounts. My account is rolling right now. All my accounts are rolling right now, guys. I don't want to make that move right now to fire him because I don't want to mess with the momentum, right? I got serious momentum going right now, guys. And I'm going to share this with you guys on my yearly update where I am. Man, let me tell you guys something. Just my Fidelity account alone, that thing has gained over $27,000, in a matter of what? A little over, not quite a year, right? I have to look at it, but man, $10,000 of that was just this past year and past month and a half, guys. And so I may be off of my numbers, and I think I've had actually more than that for a year. I think I've gained over $30,000 this past year in this, like I said, a month and a half. The stock market's rolling right now. I'm looking at over $10,000 in the last month and a half. So I don't want to disturb the momentum I got going on right now. So my idea is to, once I get closer to $200,000, and guys, let me tell you guys something, man. Let me tell you guys something. It took me 11 years to reach $100,000 net worth, guys. It took me 11 years. Since I started back in 2013, the summer of 2024, I reached $100,000 net worth. What is net worth? Remember what net worth is. Everything you own subtracted by everything you owe. And since I don't owe anybody anything, right? My accounts is free to accumulate. But listen what I'm saying, you guys. That was the summer of 24. Here we are now in the summer of 26. Just 2 short years later. It's not out of the realm of possibility, guys. Listen to this, guys. At the end of this year, early part of next year, I could be sniffing. If everything goes right, where everything's going right now, right? Now, again, the stock market, how it is, I put a lot of faith into it. I put a lot of my stock, no pun intended, into the stock market. As far as my goals go, it's not a realm of possibility. I could be sniffing 200 grand, 200K early next year. Believe that. Think about what I just said to you guys. It took me 11 years to get to 100 grand. Guys, I could get to 200K in less than 3 years. Think about what I just said to you guys. 3 years or less. It's possible. So even as 4 years or less, right? Think about that. So it just shows you guys the power of compound interest, right? Once you put money in the system, man, the power of compound interest. But get back to what I'm saying. When do I fire this guy? So obviously I'm going to have to fire him because what I just told you guys before. What do you guys think? I want to hear from you guys. What do you think what I just said? What is your opinion, what I just said? What would you, if you're in my situation, what would you do? Would you retain him until you retire? Knowing that I'm 58 right now. Do you fire him now, or do you wait until you hit a certain plateau, 200K, 250K, and then let him go? What would you guys do if you're in my situation? Drop it down in the comments below. Let me know. All right. Okay, guys. So onward and upward, headed to the office. All right, guys. So just getting here to Walmart. I have a run to pick up at Walmart, And it just happened, guys. I usually have you guys on a phone holder here on my dashboard on my window, and it just broke. So, and I don't have time to go get another one. So I'm on the run. I'm on do my gig work. So I'm going to have to emphasize this video a little bit. And most likely I'll probably have you guys right here in my cup holder for a little bit. I might have to cut this episode short, but that's all right. We'll emphasize as much as we can. I'm a multitasker. I got one hand over here, one hand over here, right? So I just got off the phone with, I told you guys earlier where I'm planning a very special 60th birthday surprise for my brother, his birthday party. And so I'm in the process of calling people for a canopy and a tent setup and chairs and table. Just want to show you guys before my run gets here. Let me go ahead and show you guys what I've been making the last few weeks here. Again, as you guys look at these figures, remember I went out of town a couple of days. I've cut some weeks short with some doctor visits, and back in the day, look like that. Look, see that April 27th, May 3rd? That may have been when my car broke down. So I've had some short weeks. Car repairs, doctor visits, and things of that nature, out of town visits. So my gig work, as far as Spark goes, my Spark app has not been as consistent as I would like it to be. My goal is between $700 and $750 a week on my gig work. And so you guys can see that. This week, you see that figure up top in blue? That's what I've made so far this week. All right. And you add that tip. See that tip up below, guys? Or not up below, up top there. See that tip? See that tip up top? You guys see that tip up top? You got to add that to the figure. All right. And what is that? 33. So you add 33 to the total. Okay. So what is that? 572, 573, right? So that's where I'm at right now, guys, for this week. We're going to do tonight. I'm not sure. I'm getting off to a late start today. We're going to do tonight, and I also do Sunday, okay? So that's where I'm at right now. Just want to show you guys that before, you know what I'm saying, before I start my run. All right, guys, so got my product, as you guys can see back there. Got my groceries. I got 2 stops, but they're longer stops. They're going to take me out of the area a little bit, on the fringes of the metro and further out. And so I'm going to go ahead and knock out these 2 stops. Now, these 2 stops represent $43. And it may not seem like a lot, but if you do a couple runs, let's say you do 3 runs, all $43, $44, $45, well, you got over $100, right? And my goal is to get between $150 to $200 every time I step out doing my gig work. And so you can see how that adds up, okay? So when you're doing gig work, you can't let any kind of numbers discourage you, because you're not just doing one run. You may do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 runs a night. You know, you never know how the things could shape up, right? So there you have it, man. That's what I'm doing. I want to give you guys an update. For you new to the channel and like what you're hearing in this video, I'm going to ask you to do one important thing. Share this information, right? Share this valuable information with someone you care and love. You believe that they can use this great financial literacy information to their advantage going long term, right? Who knows? Maybe you can too. Share the information. Anybody out there also that need help, ask questions, right? From a guy who's winning it, from a guy who's killing it, from a guy whose stock is generating money every day, right? Generating money every day, every month, every week, every month, you know, throughout the year, right? A guy who's winning with money that was once $40,000 in debt, in the red, in the negative. You're welcome to get a hold of me. I always leave my personal email down below, right? Get a hold of me, ask questions, and if I can help you, I'm willing to help anybody out there that's got a winning attitude, a winning spirit, a winning mindset to win with money, all right? My goal on this channel was to give out hope. One of my goals, to give out hope. If that's you, get a hold of me, all right? Let's roll. All right, guys, so that didn't take too long. It is, what time is it? All right, so it is 4:10. I don't know when I started, but it don't seem like it's been that long ago. So done my run that fast, boom, 43 to the bank. But one thing I don't like is when I get done with my runs, my Spark app has me do this. I have to verify myself by doing this. So they verify your face by doing this, side to side. That's what I don't like. Slows me down, man. Slows me down. I'm ready to go, right? Get ready to go back and get some more orders, and I gotta set aside some time to do that. It only takes, what, a minute and a half, but still. When I get done my route, man, I'm ready to go. It's not like I got a lot of time, right, guys? So, especially now how you guys been with me long enough, see my other videos, see my other updates, how I'm in and out, man. I don't spend a lot of time on my gig work anymore like I used to. I don't stay out until 12 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning anymore. I've cut back, taking care of myself a little bit, being diagnosed as a diabetic, so I have to watch all my P's and Q's on my health, you know what I'm saying, and all that kind of thing, right? So I don't spend a lot of time out here, man. I'm in and out, right? And so any little thing that slows me down, I'm paying attention to. All right, guys, there we go, headed back. And I want to tell you guys something, man, is that particularly my guys out there, shout out to all my boys out there that are doing gig work and hustling, man, and grinding. I got a lot of respect for you guys. And one thing I'll say is you see a run like that, 30, 35, 40 bucks, think long term, right? Think long term, because let's say you got a goal of $100, right? You got a goal of $150. Well, remember that $100 you grinding 7 days a week, that's $700. You grinding 5 days a week, that's $500, right? Think like that, man. Think like that, because it's all about, you got your short-term goals on a daily basis, but you also got your weekly goals, right? And what is that going to turn into your monthly goals, right? Remember, my goal of $150 for 6 days, right? What does that equal to, right? So if you're going 150 times 5, right? What is that? Right? That's $750. Right? So let's go $500 a week. $500 a week times 4 weeks in a month. Let's just make it simple. That's $2,000, right? Well, getting my goal is between, if I ride my goal out throughout the month and I get my goal every week, well, you're looking at between, $2,800 to $3,000, right? And so that's how you got to look at it. All right, guys. So back here at Walmart, pulling into the same Walmart, and it's probably important to tell the new people who don't understand what Spark is, what the Spark app is all about, and never heard of it before, that you go to a variety of Walmarts and Sam's Club. You don't stay at the same one. And so on the app, it pops up. Maybe I should get a chance to show you guys this if I get a chance. Orders pop up all the time. You pick one and you just go to the Walmart where you find that order, right? So it just for this particular time, I'm going back to the same Walmart. But you don't work the same one. You go all over the place, right? All over your particular city, your area, your countryside, wherever you are. So I'm in a big metropolitan area of Omaha. And we have many different Walmarts and Sam's Club, and then there's other stores that contract with the Spark app to do work from. We have Home Depot, for example, on our list of places to go to. But I always work out, particularly for me, I always work out of Walmart and Sam's Club. But here we are. What about all you guys out there? You guys haven't heard of Spark? What about you guys have heard of Spark, the Spark app? Some of you guys out there may be doing DoorDash or Uber Eats, Uber, right? You know what I'm saying? Grubhub, right? Who out there that are doing these things? Get a hold of me. I would like to know, what is your experience like, right? What is your experience like? How much money you making? Where you living at? Where you at? Where you doing your particular gig app from, right? What city, right? be very important, be very interesting to find out where you guys are coming from, right? Or where you guys are working out of, right? But drop me some notes in the comment section. Let me know where you guys at. What's going to be, what's your experience like, and so forth and so on. All right, guys, so I'm checking in right now. This particular order is for $59. And as you guys can see, once I complete this, I'll be at my $100 mark and going on from there. This is a longer route, and I got like a lot of stops on this route, though. On this particular run, I got a lot of stops. I got like 23, 24 stops. But for me, man, I'm so used to it. I can boom, 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 knock it out and get on to my next run. All right? So here we are, guys. I'm going to go ahead and check in. I'll get back at you. My guys, just got done with my long run. 24 stops, whatever it was, it's done now. So it's 7:11 now. I don't even know what I told you guys when I started this route. When I got done with my last route, I contacted you guys. I don't even know what time I got done with my last route. So, look like it's been a little longer than the last run I did, guys. But it's 7:11 now. So this is what it looks like, guys. I'm going to punch in, probably do one more run and see if I can get my 150 goal. If I get close to it, sometimes, guys, that's okay too, right? The main thing is to have something you're shooting for, right? So this is what the board looks like, guys. This is the Spark app. All the little blue dots you see are Walmarts or Sam's Clubs, okay? And you see some of them are in red right now. Those are your hot spots. Those are your ones that are taking a lot of orders, right? And the ones marked in yellow, that's the next step down, right? They're taking orders. They're just not as hot as the ones marked in red. The ones that are regular blue, they take orders too, just not so much, just not so often, right? As the ones in the yellow and red, all right? So that's what it looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and see that spark now. You get done the route, you hit that spark now button, and it lets them know that you're ready to go. But you got to punch in a time, right? So right now I'm going to punch in. I'll do it until 7:30. Let's see if I get something that pops up here. So I just want to show you guys. For you new guys coming on board, I want to show you that, all right? Now here's one right here. I don't usually take these, right? This pops up right away, 32.47. It's a shopping. See that yellow down there? It says shopping. I don't do that. I don't do that, man. I tried that once, right, guys? Hey, man, check it out. I'm not good in these stores, okay? If I got all the time in the world, it's late at night, I ain't gonna be tripping over kids and saying excuse me all day long, all night long, during prime time where everybody's at Walmart. No, I'm gonna take my time. Either I'm going to be at late at night where there's nobody around, or if I go on there, I got a list and I know what I want, I'm getting out of there. So, but if I'm shopping for other people, man, I tried that, man. I ain't doing it. I tried it, and I had a lady that ordered one time, and she didn't get a lot of stuff. I just didn't know where the hell it was in the store. And I think it took me about 2 hours to get out of there. It seemed like it took me 2 hours, right? And so I'm not good at that. There's some people who are cool with those shopping. I'm not good at that, man, and I let it roll. I just do my package deliveries and my grocery store deliveries, man, and I just wrap it up from there, man. Here's one right here that I could do, but it's going up to Missouri Valley and Blair. These are places that are north and northeast on the fringe areas of the metro, guys. It's a little drive, and I don't want to do that. I'm okay. I could do it, but I think I can find something here in town, closer to me. I've done enough long runs for the week. And sometimes, man, you do so many long runs, you have to watch. I showed you guys the gas earlier, right? I showed you guys how much the gas costs, and it's a little cheaper than it was before, but it's still, you really, doing these independent contractor gig work, guys, the gig business and these gig apps, man, you really have to be cognizant of the gas. You have to run it just like a business. It is a business. You have to run it like you're self-employed, which you are, right? So you have to monitor your gas, monitor your miles, and all that good stuff, right? There are great mileage apps out there that you guys can have as you do your gig business. For you guys out there who are doing it, I'm sure you already know. You can download your mileage apps, and they can gauge your miles and monitor your miles and so forth and so on. But yeah, you really have to watch. You really have to watch your miles and stuff like that. If you find that you're on a Friday and you look back and go, okay, I've done enough miles, I've done enough long runs, I think I'm gonna shorten it up a little bit. And that's where I'm at right now, man. On a late Friday, I'm not doing no more long runs. So if I can't find what I'm looking for, I'll just do some shorter runs and then call it a night. All right, guys, so as I look, I'll let you guys know. But it's important, man. It's important that, again, that it's money out here to be made on these gig apps, man. Like I say, you just have to run it just like a business, because it is one. You have to monitor your mileage, your gas, your maintenance of your car. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the right insurance. You got to insure yourself. And I talked to you guys about my car breaking down, right? Recently. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that roadside, right? You got to have that roadside, right? But all right, guys, so let me check and see what I got, and I'll get back to you. On my route, I think that makes the third run I've done today. I believe that's the case. So you guys see here, it's 8:07 right now. I'm going to show you guys what I got, okay? So let's take a look at the board. You see there, the total up top there, that's your weekly total when you're doing the Spark app. You guys will see the bar graph up top, what I've done every day. You see that? The total right now is 666, what is that, 30? Okay. And so if I hit that, it'll bring up the week here, what I've done every day. You see there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way down to here today, Friday. Today I got 130. And sometimes, man, you go through the week, and if you don't get your goal, that's fine. If you get close to it, that's fine. You're not going to get it every day. So you have to understand that. But you see up top up there where it says unconfirmed weekly tips. Now you have to add that to the total. When you're doing the Spark app, you have to be cognizant of that. You got 666.30, but you got to add the 3141 to it as well. So that puts me at close to 700, which is what I want. My goal is between 7 and 750. So if I'm getting that, guys, I'm getting my money. I'm living on less than I make. I'm paying myself first. The less than I make part, remember, the less than I make part is going to my emergency funds, my various sinking funds, okay? And, of course, my investment accounts, all right? So that's what this is all for, man. And there you have it, guys. So close enough. I'm going to call it a day. I'm got some working out to do tonight. When I get home, I got some eating to do. Got to prepare for tomorrow. See my girl tomorrow. We got some activities planned. So I got to plan for all that. If you need any help out there, man, I offer my help to you guys in any way possible that I can. We've come too far to give up who we are. Let's take it to another level. Raise the bar. Only then can we toast to ancestor stars. Peace.